Hey y'all, thanks so much for coming back to watch more of my videos. Sorry I've been MIA. There's, I don't know, kind of excuses, kind of reasons. But yeah, moving forward, I aim to be more consistent. So if there's any pick a card, ideas you had in mind, or any suggestions, anything you'd like to see more of, I'm super open to hearing what y'all have to say. Thank you for being here. I have 9 whole subscribers. It's a big deal. Yeah, especially having been absent for a couple months. Life got crazy, but yeah, so without further ado and without further jibber jabber, let's get started. So I've got 3 piles to choose from today. What I had in mind, again, it's fairly open-ended to an extent, but what's coming in the new year? I don't know, what kept coming to me in my head was walking into the new year and it has to be said like that, obviously. So yeah, what's coming your way? There are, the tarot at least is going to be super open-ended. What comes out as I shuffle will be, how it's read. And then I do have some oracle cards already, not only just pre-shuffled because these decks are as well, but I already got those cards ready in hopes of saving some time and not having 9-hour readings and keeping our short attention spans entertained and not just aimlessly, mindlessly, that kind of thing. So yeah, and the oracle cards will kind of get any fill-in information that might be wanting to come through from your higher self, spirit guides, ancestors, that kind of thing. There's some self-care ideas, love messages, and a couple other as well. So yeah, let's get started here. So we've got, again, like I said, 3 piles to choose from. Pile number 1 is right here, this purple one. I should know the name of it, I forget it. Pile number 2, the Wandering Star Tarot, and pile number 3, Modern Witch Tarot. So without further ado, feel free to pause the video here to see which pile calls to you, and I'll see you at your pile. Okay, so pile number 1, I know I'm so fancy with my editing skills here. Alright, so 2022, what messages do we have for pile number 1? Alright, let me just look. It's going to bug me, the name of this tarot deck. Oh, Super Luminaris, that's what it is. It's like one of my all-time favorites, and I didn't remember the name. And I did pre-shuffle these. This is just kind of to prove that I did it, and yeah, to see what comes out as we shuffle. So, what do we have for pile number 3? What is happening in the new year? For the collective, who chose pile number 3? Oh, okay, which way did that one go? Jeez, stop spinning. Okay. 2022 events, blessings, lessons, advice. What does pile 1 need to know for this new year? Oh, jeez. Okay. Ooh. Okay. All right. Pile number 1. Wow, wow, wow. So there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes throughout the year. And it may not, for most of you at least, it's not really gonna play out the way you had in mind. I mean, isn't that something trivial to say? But all of our cards here, which I will list out in a minute, are in reverse. And that's not necessarily, it's not a bad thing. It's not anything to be scared of, like, oh, it's going to be a horrible year. No, absolutely not. It's just the way the energy is coming in at this point in the year. And it's still developing. There's still, obviously, it's just a couple of days into the new year. But, so yeah, we've got all in reverse, including the bottom of the deck energy, which I find super interesting. And pretty informative as well. So we have the Knight of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands, the Wheel, the Nine of Wands, and the Knight of Swords. And then bottom of the deck energy we have, as well, also in reverse, the Queen of Swords. So to start off the year, I think there's going to be a lot of, different transitionings happening in your work and home life where, where you thought a door was opening, it might actually turn out to be closing, whether it be slowly or on the quicker side. It's seeming like, things will kind of feel rather stagnant at the beginning of the year. But just know that these changes and, the lessons, the tribulations, all of the things you are going through is to lead you where you're meant to be later in the year. So it's not like it's wasted effort, energy, time, anything. Like whether it be, at work, it could seem like you're being overlooked. Maybe there's been a promotion that you've been eyeing for quite some time and it was given to somebody who has been with the company less time or isn't as qualified as you. It's really going to vary for everybody because this is a general reading, but it could seem like, I put all this time and energy into, we'll run with the work example, especially because we got so many pentacles here. I put so much energy into maintaining good attendance records at work, into busting my butt, going above and beyond. And it could be like, all this time has been put into and invested in something I saw a future in, but it might not look that way. And it probably won't play out the way you had in mind. In different ways, yes and no. And in hindsight, a little bit more so when you're putting pieces together and it's like, okay, that does make sense. So just know, the big takeaway at this point, it seems to me for a lot of you, is don't let ideas, things other people say, anything coming from external human sources, media, books, anything like that, really take the time to take a step back and digest whether or not that is how you, if that feels right to you, like, do I really see things this way, or let's say, you read something, a very sad news article or something like that, and you're like, oh, like, the world sucks, and it just gets you all in your feels in a more negative energy, because let's face it, that's what the news does to us. This happens to me all the time. That's why I'm bringing it in to the mix. But I think allowing yourself the time and space to really process it, whether it takes you longer or not, like, it's not a rush. And because certain, you might see externally other people, or you might have, it could all be like ideas you have in your head, like subconsciously, like what you've been kind of programmed throughout your life to feel, to think, to, and even in turn, like how you behave. It could be where it might seem like other people are more successful, more this, more that, but that's not your path. You're, you know, and it might look like others have it easier or more put together or this, that, the other, and honestly, none of us do, which is so much easier to say than to believe and to feel on a cellular level in our bodies. Like, that's where the work comes in. And that's the work that I see, you know, it could be a struggle for some or a lot of you to really find that sense of self-worth regardless of whether or not you see it reflected back to you. So that could be something that helps you find perspective and not get so wrapped up in the feeling of the emotion. You know, allowing ourselves to feel it, to breathe into it, to acknowledge it is oftentimes, I think, I have found the most productive way to relinquish the feeling, to come to terms with it. Yeah. So, back to the cards. So, yeah, like these changes might not be happening as quickly as you would like or as you think they should, and they might not seem as monumental, wheel in reverse, as, you know, maybe you're saying to yourself, you know, I'm this old, I'm this young, I should have done this by now, I shouldn't have done this. Like, let the shoulds go, let the mind turn off. Like, how can you find a way to turn your mind off? That can be anything, really. Running, music, singing, dancing, chanting, making random sounds. Like, do it. If it feels good, do it. Who cares what it sounds, looks, feels like? You know, we are our own best medicine. I truly believe that. And I think that has a lot to do with who am I to read cards for other people, you know, that don't necessarily ask me to. The imposter syndrome, we all have it, like, it's there. So, I don't know, maybe we own it this year. I should listen to that. Okay, so after the wheel, we got, so yeah, like big changes are happening behind the scenes, whether or not you acknowledge it, whether or not you see it reflected back to you in any way, you know, in all of the ways that it could be in your external world, to put it kind of concisely. But to me, that makes the most sense. Sorry if it doesn't to y'all. Let me know. And yeah. Okay, so 9 of Wands. So it's like towards the end of the year, you're seeing things culminate right before your eyes more so. It's something, not something you're afraid to look at and to acknowledge, like the plights, like the ups and downs that you have since gone through to get to where you are. Like, you see that, you feel that, you acknowledge it, and the hindsight brings you a sense of clarity that you might not have had towards the beginning of the year, per se, or you might not have had as much clarity. Because it seems like this evolution is happening where, you know, at the beginning of the year, it's kind of like, oh, like, why me? And then the universe is kind of stepping in and giving you little clues, hints, pushes, nudges in different directions, and like some answers and signs and synchronicities. And I think that's been something that's helped you get kind of the chip off your shoulder. Because 9 of Wands, you know, that wounded warrior energy, it is in reverse. So, you know, there's growth, there's evolution happening. I think you're not trying to push things forward, but you're taking time to really realize that when things are meant to happen, they will happen, as cliche as it is and it sounds. But that's language. And the Knight of Swords here, especially it being in reverse and just the alignment of how it plays out amongst these other cards, you've weathered this storm. not only just the storm externally with the pentacles here, the storm, you know, kind of getting the right mindset, and rewiring, retraining some of those limiting beliefs, subconscious thoughts, but like especially just weathering the storm. Like I feel like I need to reiterate that, because especially the imagery on here, and that brings a renewed sense of confidence. Like you are this queen, this king, this knight, you know, however you identify. You are, you know, a lot more powerful than you, at times, you allow yourself to believe. And despite the chaos, despite the winds, the seas, the highs, the lows, despite it all, you've stood in your power, and that itself has made you even more powerful. And it's given you the insight to look back and to understand on a deeper level not only why things happened, but why things continue to play out in ways you can't control in the future. And that was kind of jumbled, but essentially what I mean by that is having this experience and having been so reflective, or experiences, having been so reflective and, you know, really coming back home to yourself throughout these experiences and checking in and seeing, how do I feel? What do I want? How can I best serve myself? Like throughout all of this, because we know life is always up, down, sideways, left, right. Like it's not point A to point B to C. It's more like A, W, F, Z, you know, like, and the thing is, we can't control it. So I think by letting go of control and allowing things to play out in ways that you didn't understand, you didn't like, you didn't see anything coming together, it did. And so I think self-trust is a big virtue and blessing that you receive from 2022. And really stepping into your power, knowing that even the moments where you feel upside down, you are still so powerful. Your phases are still, you know, phases are what helps us grow. And, you know, when I say phases, I love to think about the moon, which your girl, the moon is in this card, coincidentally. But yeah, the phases of the moon. So even when you can't see the moon at all, when it's a new moon, there's so much to be felt and learned throughout everything that we go through. Even when it's super dark, like we couldn't be light if we weren't dark. For me, accepting my darkness was so helpful to feel the light, like in keyword feel, like I really feel and embrace and embody. Yeah, because growing up, anger wasn't, you know, all these negative emotions. Anger, you can't ever be angry. No, you're a wee little Catholic girl. Oh gosh, religion's weird. But this is not the place or time to discuss that. So yeah, let's get into the oracle cards. Sorry, I'm just gonna have some tea. My big goblet of green tea. All right, so let's see what we have here. Oh, okay, we got, sorry, I'll show you these actually as I lay them out. The imagery on these is so dope. We have death. Death, rebirth, growth. Goddess. Moon goddess, gods up in here. And explorer. Cool. So, I think the death card goes back to, the beginning of the year when there was a lot more bigger transformations, more on a grander scale of a transformation, I guess you could say. Because like there's so much that has, and this I think ties into the whole remainder of the year, and that's why it's coming out first. Because there's so much growth happening even when things are in decay. Even when it's winter, things are still growing. Even when things don't appear to be the way they are, there is growth, there is evolution, it's not all in plain sight. And that's why like taking the time to close our eyes and feel and check in is so powerful. And letting go this death, this transformation of rebirth that comes following this death, brings you into this goddess energy that is always there, was always there, but it's now you're seeing it, now everybody's seeing it, now there's this energy change, and that's literally all that it is. It's your energy changing and manifesting in different ways. The life force, the light, the energy around you is more visible to others, so you're bringing in not only new experiences but new people, new lessons, and it matches the frequency that you are on. So as you continue to grow and evolve and only, I guess not only go up, because we all backslide, as this growth continues to happen, like these new, grander, beautiful, more aligned experiences come into your life. And explore with the imagery of a foot, and again, more growth. Like there's a lot of flower imagery, and that's why I can't say enough. This is a year of growth. This is a year of transformation, and I think a lot of it is happening within, for a lot of you. And when it happens within, it like radiates with outside of you like 10 times more, I feel. So yeah, this evolution that has gone on has guided you and led you to a space where you might feel more explorative. Maybe you're feeling like you want to move, or make different lifestyle changes that before you were like, who, me? That's not me. But maybe it has been you all along, and it's just something that you didn't want to acknowledge because you were stuck in these limiting beliefs and this mindset of imposter syndrome, of I'm not good enough, of whatever it may be, I'm not X enough. Like you are, I hate using the word perfect, but you are ideal. Like the way you're meant to be, you are. And that's what I mean by perfect. Which again, easier said than believed and felt, and your girl's definitely still working on that. Okay, so anyway, a win-win forecast is in store, or a win-win outcome is forecast. Full moon in Libra. So the ups and downs of, are bringing a new sense of balance, and you can't mess it up. You can't mess up being yourself. It may feel that way, but it's always a lesson. It's just data, information, to help us grow. Yeah, so the full moon in Libra. What is that? May? Something like that. I'll let you look that up. I swear it's like around May. But okay, so full moon in Libra could be an important time for you. Full moons in general, I think, if you do little letting go rituals, that can be nice and cleansing, and insightful. Like, what do you want to let go of? What has been holding you back? And it doesn't have to be done every single full moon, every month. Like, when you can, you do it. And, having intention about it is the most important part. New moon in Leo, confidence is your key to success. Which I think mid-year is something that you're really embracing. And that, makes sense. Like, Leo season is mid-year. The new moon not so much. That should be coming up pretty soon over the next month, 2 months. And yeah, I love the dichotomy, the balance between these two cards itself. Like we got a full moon and a new moon. But here you see everything and here you see nothing. How do you think that plays into this spread is what I would rather ask, you know, like what does that mean to you? Because, you know, I already said how I saw it as you're beautiful, you're abundant, you are exactly the way you're meant to be throughout all your phases, regardless of how you may feel or what you might be going through. And there's always lessons to be learned throughout the phases. And again, that's all data. But yeah, what does that mean to you? I think that would be more powerful than just me blurting things out. Sisterhood of the Rose. Beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. Finding your soul tribe. Finding more to join your soul tribe. I think that's something that will continue to happen throughout the year. And kind of how we touched on it earlier, like drawing in those more authentic and aligned relationships, jobs, experiences to your life is a big theme this year. Ooh, I love it. Did you have a question on your mind? If you didn't, you should ask one now. Cool. The answer is yes. So you have all the answers within you. Like, that's all I want to say about that. You know better than anyone, better than me, sure as heck, better than anybody. Literally anybody. Sovereignty is huge. Sovereignty over ourselves, who we want to be, who we are. And you got it. You got it. Oof, oof, oof. I love that. Okay, so now we're going to switch it up a little bit. I've never done love messages before. I don't think for other people on YouTube. Anyway, so we have 3 messages. So, you know, if you have a person in mind or not, take what resonates, let the rest go. You know how it goes. So we have, I knew exactly what I was doing. Got chills. Oof, that means a lot. Okay. I'm starting to understand our connection. And I am grateful for the spiritual lesson. So some of y'all could, that could have a lot to do with, yeah, why you're so stuck in your head too. You know, this connection that may have not worked out. And it's leaving you in this place where you're analyzing yourself and like what you could have done differently. Maybe like, but it's not. It's so many other factors and variables. So many other. So yeah, take that as it applies to each situation. I don't want to delve too deep into any of this because it's not a love reading. Those are just a little something. So self-care, how can pile 1 care for themselves in this new year? I love this answer. Number 18 or number 9. That could be a life path number. That could be, you know, a relevant number. So dance. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Dance, move, groove. Literally moving your body in any way is dancing. I stand by that statement. I stand by that. Who cares how you look? I mean, usually we do. I definitely do. But once, you know, you're in the zone enough, it's like nobody else is there. That's the beauty of music. And number 30. Wow, I haven't seen this one before. Look for fairies. So you could have some ancestors, guides that are you know, trying to fill you in on little synchronicities throughout the year. And like fairy godmothers, godfathers, they could really be important to acknowledge and allow in, to create space and time for them to come through with their messages. So yeah, setting aside, whether it be 5 to 10 minutes a day, solely for yourself, where there's no phone there, there's no technology, it's just like, and if your mind's chitter-chattering, that's what it's gonna do, but like, at least you tried. And it gets easier with time, it really does. Meditation is super intimidating, but it gets so much easier the more you do it. Like everything else, that's just practice. And if we're gonna be, I don't know about y'all, but I'm in my mind way too much. So if I'm gonna live this life, I need to get out of here. Like, woo, give me a break. And so we have an affirmation card to close out the reading for y'all. I accept abundance. A year of abundance, growth, coming to fruition, the answers you've been waiting for. I feel like you're gonna get some of them. And it's up to you how, when, why, you know, like, but it's coming. Don't fret about it. Don't, yeah. And I mean, the only way to plan for different messages coming through, solely in my opinion, is to set that time aside. Like, you can't make anything happen, but if there's a time and a routine to it and intention behind it, it's more likely to happen. So I accept abundance. Abundance is available to you when you expect and accept it. Abundance can come in many forms, including love, time, finances, etc. Claim it as your own and be willing to accept it when it comes. So like scarcity mindset could be something you struggle with. I get it. So that might be something to also come to terms with, maybe work on changing your relationship with money. And that's, you know, for some of you, that's definitely that's something I definitely struggle with. I think it's like a social cultural norm, at least in the United States. Capitalism. But yeah, accept that abundance. You are so deserving. And yeah, I hope, you know, that this reading was helpful. You gained something from it. And yeah, thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. Thanks to my subscribers. I could say that this time. Yeah, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope to be on like a weekly kind of schedule from here on out. And of course, engagement helps with that. But that's not your guys' problem. But I'd love it if you did engage with me. So yeah, do the things. I'll see you around. Sending y'all lots of love and abundance and whatever it is that calls to your soul. Sending you so much of it because y'all deserve it. Happy New Year. Okay, bye. Alright, pile number 2. Welcome back to, or welcome in general if you haven't been here, to Transcendence Tarot. Sorry for my slacking and not keeping up with videos so much, but you know, life happens is what it is. But I do, yeah, I do thank you for being here. I'm excited to read for y'all today. Thanks for allowing me to do so. Yeah, let's get started. So if you chose pile number 2, we are looking at what is coming into this new year. What's in the cards? Pun intended, because I like lame pun jokes. What do we have coming forward? Pile number 2. So these cards I did pre-shuffle. just a heads up. And so they're pre-shuffled, good to go, but I did want to shuffle on camera, of course. And we'll just kind of see, as far like with the tarot cards, it's definitely pretty open-ended, and just around the general message of New Year 2022, walking into the new year, like kind of idea. I don't know why. That's kind of lame, but I like it because I'm lame. So yeah, that's what it is. The oracle cards are pre-shuffled in hopes of saving time and, you know, attention spans and honoring your time. There's only so many hours in a day. So we'll, after we do the more open-ended tarot part of it, we'll jump into the oracles. They range in, you know, what they're kind of drawing information in from, which I thought would make things interesting, so we can cover a different range of topics. There's some self-care ideas, there's love messages, which I haven't done on YouTube here before, and a couple other like not necessarily, I didn't really pull advice cards, anything like that this time, but we end it with an affirmation too. So yeah, so thanks for listening to my jibber jabber. We'll start taking some cards here now. All right, pile number 2. Actually, hang on 1 second. Sorry, I'll be right back, I promise. Okay, my bad, sorry. My cat just came in and I wanted to close the door. So, I also refuse to edit videos, so sorry. Not gonna, not my thing, not my thing. You know what, I'm feeling called to spray some of this smudge spray. Pile number 2. Walking into 2022 like, what do we got coming forward? What's going on? Higher self, ancestors of the collective who chose pile 2, please come forward with any information to help them grow, to help them see things clearly. Got some flippers. Some flips. Okay. Let me take 2 more cards. Spirit for pile 2, 2022. What do we have going on this year? Pile number 2. What do we need to know? Okay. So, on the bottom of the deck, we have 10 of Wands, burden, demands, overload. And that's more, you know, of a subconscious energy. So it, at times, yeah, you might feel like this is a pretty heavy year, which, you know, of course makes sense, coincides the fact that we're 2 years into a pandemic, and yeah, our government's so good at their jobs. Okay, not the time, but you know, it could have to do with that. Like it's it's hard to live these days. It really is. It's stressful, it's burdensome, it's sensory overload, mental overload, physical overload. Like, so, not to scare you, but to be honest, it is what it is. This year can feel heavy overall, and however that applies to you. And again, not every message is going to be spot on for everybody. This is a general reading, so take what resonates and let the rest go. You all know how it works. So what we've got here, we've got Five of Pentacles in reverse, Queen of Cups in reverse, Page of Pentacles upright, Seven of Cups upright, the Tower in reverse, and Four of Pentacles in reverse. So I think there's something, especially, you know, in this general time frame of the year, that definitely feels heavy. And this is going to vary, and I think it's something, and this will be fairly split, like something you have walked away from, or you at least know that you should walk away from, but you haven't yet. And that's something that, I don't know, for a decent amount of you, I think it's either a relationship, whether it be a friendship, whether it be even just setting boundaries in said relationship, which is not easy. It could be something along those lines, or it could also have to do with, for some of you, a roommate, like a home situation, and for others, work. So it's something, it's like, oh, this seems like a dead end to me, but do I see anything better happening in the landscape of life today? No, so I'll just coast. You know, I'll just let it be, which isn't a bad thing. Sometimes that's exactly what we need to do in that time. And I think that's the energy that y'all are starting off the year in for the most part. It's like this, you're in this space that doesn't really light you up, but it sustains you. It gets you, it allows you to keep a roof over your head, to pay your bills, your student loans, you know, to have this sense of independence, but it isn't fulfilling. It isn't emotionally fulfilling, at least. You feel like there's something lacking. And it could be creativity, compassion, passion itself, something, yeah, it doesn't feel truly fulfilling because there's a disconnect between the physical, the way it plays out externally in the physical realm, and the needs that you have with inside yourself. Because you know that it doesn't feel right. And I think you've known this, like, already, which, take your time, you know, I'm not here to judge. I literally do the same stuff. We're all human. Yeah, so going with the flow. I think you've been stuck in the flow, like stuck in the tides. But there's an offer that comes forward to help you break the redundancy you've been stuck in, and helps you not be stuck in the waves of the ocean, but flow through creeks, flow through spaces you've never seen before, you've never opened up to. And that allows you this kind of expansion, where you were once stuck. Once you free yourself and get rid of some of that energy, it frees up other energy to open new doors, windows, zip lines, to new offers. And it's plural. It's totally plural for y'all. And I just saw 444 on the camera. It's plural. Like there are so many offers that are going to come, and that might have to do with why it feels so burdensome too, because it's like, what decision do I make? What is right for me? What is right for my family? What is right for insert in the blank? And what I really want to say is when all of these offers come in, you know, the fear of inadequacy and who am I, blah, 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 to accept this, to deserve this, you are so, so, so deserving of every offer that comes your way. And those that don't come your way too, those that you are turned down from, you are still deserving. And everything's so subjective. Like when we, never mind, that's a rant. I guess I'll just go into it real quick. When we, you know, place so much of our integrity and self-worth in how others deem us, perceive us, or the outcome of different situations, it's so draining, and it's giving away, it just gives away power. Like everybody is viewing us from a subjective lens of their own, and their perspective can be so skewed. So why give them power? This seems all rambly. It doesn't make sense. I think I should end it here. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it makes sense to one person. But yeah. Regardless of how you might feel on the inside of things that are being presented to you, experiences, offers, you are deserving. And the bit of advice I really feel called to say is listening to your instincts and intuition is something that will be super valuable for you in differentiating which path to take, which offer to take, however it plays out and applies to you and your own personal situation, because that is what matters above all else. Pay grade does not compensate for doing something you're not passionate about, you know, and that's going to vary depending on how you feel about that statement. Because how I feel is not how you feel. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But it's not necessarily. And that's cool. That's what makes us all us. But yeah, just know that you have the talent, the skills, you've put in the work. Abundance, growth, opportunities are on the horizon, especially towards the middle of the year. Like early middle of the year. And that intuition of yours, the divine guidance and intelligence that is within you, will lead you where you need to go. Which, you know, is up to you. The Tower in reverse. By listening to your intuition, not only will you evolve to continuously see things through that more intuitive, reflective space, but it brings greater enlightenment to that extent. It brings you a sense of inner peace, and when you have that inner peace, it's, you know, a fire. This could be upright, and if you have that inner peace, that sense of stillness within, or can access that at different points, like, it doesn't matter if this is burning, because at home in yourself, you know you are safe. So I think that's something you have been cultivating and continue to cultivate throughout the year, and it leads you to more opportunities and abundance in ways that you hadn't seen, or that you were closed off to because you didn't think that you were deserving or enough. And I think, yeah, oh man, the Four of Pentacles in reverse, like, it's things that were once blocked, including yourself. Like, maybe you've been really closed off and have wanted to work on your own for a very long time, and now you're like, oh, I've kind of reached this crux where it's like, I want to expand my company, my this, my that, my family, but I can't do it alone. So letting down walls and barriers and creating that sense of stability and security within yourself creates so much space for this sense of like permanent expansion that's happening for y'all throughout the year. And things, might be, the road has been windy, and I'm sure y'all have reached dead ends where it's felt like there's nowhere else to go. But there's always a path forward, or sideways, or up, or down, or left, or right. And the only person who can determine which way you go is you. Y'all might be rather indecisive, so yeah, I'm getting a lot of indecisive energy. I think that's why these two are so making concrete commitments to yourself throughout the year is gonna help you really in this new, for a lot of y'all, I think it is a business venture. It's not going to be for everybody. It could also be like a relationship for a decent amount of you with these two cards side by side. But regardless, your persistence in the matter and dedication to yourself to continuously grow and evolve and expand your worldview is super powerful throughout this year, like in so many different ways. I think there's just so many like small changes, or seemingly small changes, that have been happening, that are leading to this greater transformation. And because you've been making these decisions and taking these steps in different directions, because you've been doing this and putting the work in, things are releasing. You are letting go. Things are changing for the better. It's not, you're not being ran by like self-destruction anymore. I think throughout the year you continuously grow and evolve in ways that you might not have seen possible, especially for yourself. You might be like, me? Who, me? Like, with the Five of Pentacles energy, but it's all right there. And I think that's something that this year is trying to prove to y'all, that it's all right there. Only you hold yourself back. No one else has that power unless you give it away to them. And you can always take it back. So it's up to you. But y'all got it. So yeah, from here we're gonna jump into these oracle cards and see what tidbits of information we've got for us. So we've got friendship. Maybe that was part of the losses that some of y'all have gone through in the past couple of months into the beginning of this new year. Or maybe they just haven't felt reciprocal. And that's something where you've stepped into your power about, and you've made changes, set boundaries, and even like swallowed your pride and been the person to go forward first and be like, hey, like in this situation I didn't say this or do this to what I thought was appropriate or respectful to you. So that's why I'm coming forward. I'm sorry, but I won't do it. You know, like how you could have been the one to do that. And I feel like some of y'all definitely were, and maybe you didn't get the response that you wanted. They weren't willing to meet you halfway, and so it's easy to get stuck in like thought patterns of like thinking that this didn't work out because you're not good enough, or you, me. But it's easier, not easier. I don't know. I think it's like the first thing, and I'm speaking personally, that we like do is like, oh, what did I do wrong? What could I have done better? But it's like, yes, that's good to take into account, but it's also not even close to every factor that comes into play. Like we can't control anybody's actions, feelings, or emotions ever. So why bother? We can only, you know, meet them where we're at. They meet us where we're at, and if there's room for growth, dialogue, then there is. If there's not, there's not. And so yeah, it sucks. It's hard to let go, friends. God, interesting, because pile 1 had the goddess card in this exact position, and again, non-gender specific. So God, goddess. However, it applies to you, like the power of weaving throughout the obstacles that are presented to you, and always coming back to yourself and knowing that the power, all of your power, resides within, brings you to feel so powerful, like halfway-ish throughout the year. Like it really helps you step into your power and acknowledge that, you know, even at times where it doesn't seem like growth is happening, where it's like, oh, I'm stuck in this void, like what's going on? There is so much to be said for that void, that liminal space. Like more to be said than, to me, than things that happen in normal life when we're just like grinded because we have to. Like that liminal space, that's why it's so hard to stay there, because there's so much that we don't, you know, logically it's not necessarily making sense per se, like all the growth that's happening and all of the changes that are happening at a cellular energetic level, but it's all happening behind the scenes and in a lot more powerful ways than I think we realize a lot of the time. And then we have pain. A lot of like windy, we got 2 snakes here, and then this is like a, you know, snake-like shape. So a lot of windy energy, chakra meditation, and doing that multiple times could be something that proves beneficial for some of y'all, or it could be super grounding. And the more you do it, especially, you know, depending on the intention behind it, you can feel the effects of it pretty quickly. And it'll be that feeling. You have to listen, sit still and listen. So I think, yeah, chakra meditation could be super helpful for y'all. And it can help alleviate some of the pain that might occur throughout the year. But I have to also highlight again the floral imagery in this, like despite the seemingly like destruction of getting stabbed in the uterus is what it looks like to me. There's still growth. There's still, like, even when things are thorny and painful and it's something that we don't want to have to actually feel. Taking the time and the energy and feeling the pain is the most powerful way to get past it. Yeah. There's always going to be pain, but the pain that we endure allows us to feel the lightness that follows eventually, even if it's just in patches of time for a long time. We all feel pain. You are not alone. If there's friends you can reach out to, not the like friends that see you for you, that'll support you, keeping them in mind. And not allowing your ego or pride to hold you back from reaching out to them when you do need some support. There's so much eye imagery in here too. Like, your intuition is your biggest guiding force. I know I've said that, but listen to that intuition. It's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. So, yeah, maybe there's some painful events that have happened in the past that can be worked on releasing. It's always a process, right? And then some. The full moon in Scorpio can be a transformative time, to say the least, for y'all. Or it could have full moon in Scorp. So like mid-end of last year, I want to say. End of summer kind of thing. I'll have to look that up. But yeah, that time frame can be super powerful. Full moons in general can be a good time to, if you don't already, maybe start doing rituals. It doesn't have to be every single full moon, but to different full moons that call to you. It could be full moon in Scorp. Maybe you are a Scorpio. If you are, hey, fellow Scorpio sister, brother. We've also got your commitment is being tested. First quarter moon. So the ups and downs, the windy roads that y'all are enduring and walking and driving along throughout the year are it's not going to be easy. That's how we started the reading. But because it's not easy doesn't mean that you can't handle it. The strength that you have within is something that nobody can take away from you or change. And nobody knows it better than yourself. Sometimes we just need to remember it, and that's the harder part. Yeah, let's see. Even when things might seem cloudy as well, or like you can't see the full picture, that is okay. We're never gonna know everything. We never know anything, or even much of anything, honestly. But that's where your intuition comes in. And I think, some sort of routine can be helpful with y'all, like a little spiritual routine that you do, I don't know, whenever you want, once a week, every night. What do you want? How much time you got? It's up to you. We've got trust your path. I love that. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? If you knew you'd be supported, what would you do? Maybe I want to pause and journal that question. That's such a good question. The first time I was asked that a couple years ago, it's like, I'm I'm supposed to think about myself? Oh, who knew? Who knew? And it's huge. It's huge. It can open up so many doors and, you know, alleyways to create new things, to find new passions, to live your passion. An awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. Yeah, there's so much transformation. Like with all these snakes and stuff, like, ooh, honestly, and of course if this doesn't resonate, drop it, but like going back to that chakra meditation. I know like on YouTube they've got everything. So I've done those before. They're great, and especially on new moons. I mean, well, new and full moons. I'll do them. Yeah, that's a big one. And trust that intuition, babies. So we've got, oh yeah, you guys got the most of these, and the most self-care cards too. But don't take that as anything other than it is what it is. So before we get into the self-care and close off with our affirmation oracle, we're going to do some love messages here. And I'm just going to read them. We're not getting too in-depth. That's not what the reading's about, but this is just, you know, if you had questions or anything, it might bring clarity. You came closer than anyone. I know I was a distraction from your pain. I wish I had treated you better. And the last one, you'll got one more than the rest of the piles. I want to be more than friends. So, there could be something you walked away from that could have felt burdensome. And that could be the reason why you're closed off, because you thought it was all going to crumble. Yeah, anyways, I said I wasn't going to go into that. So, on to the self-care. So, pile number 2, these are different little ideas for y'all to love yourself a little more, bringing in this new year. Number 55, write a gratitude list. Gratitude always comes full circle so much quicker than you even take the time to write it down. The universe is listening. What are you grateful for? Wow, we got some angel numbers galore. We got 55 with the gratitude journal. Now we have 44, sex. How can you pleasure yourself? Doesn't have to be with others. It can be with others. Whatever. Do your thing. But oh my gosh, sorry for that gross face, but dudes, we had another angel number, an energy work, and it's a chakras aligning, and that just dawned on me right now. It was really the number that got that first reaction, and woo, now it's coming full circle. Okay, sorry, I just got a lot. That was a lot. Lord, I don't look at the oracle cards clearly before we read the spread, because yeah. But yes, that chakra meditation, y'all. Let me know if you do it, how it goes, how you feel. Stick with it. It takes time. Okay. But yeah, meditating, closing your eyes, yes, and creating space to go within and ask yourselves these questions we've been talking about. Oh man, that gave me so much energy. Wow. Okay, I need to calm down. Like, it's not, that happens all the time, but it's just like, wow. Okay, so yeah, 22, 44, 55. Those might be synchronicities of your ancestors and your higher self trying to communicate with you over the course of the year. And it's the year 2022. Boom. This is a big year for y'all. There's a lot a lot of growth and evolution, and I'm so excited for all of you. And okay, so our last affirmation card is, my intuition is the perfect guide. Trust your gut. There is nothing more reliable than your natural instincts and intuition. Preach. Open your third eye and allow it to lead you through your day and in decision making. You are being divinely guided. And while we're here, let me just show you all of the stinking cards with eyes on them, man. Like, well, they all have eyes. They all have the hills have eyes, the cards have eyes. Just kidding. Okay, I'm not funny. But there's so many eyes, like in this one card alone. Where's the major one? There, like the Tower card, there's just a lot of eye imagery, and then closed eye imagery. So it's like, balance out the time where you have your eyes open and eyes closed, literally, metaphorically, figuratively. Okay, and on that note, before I become more of a hooligan, I want to thank you all so much, Pile 2, for being here, for watching. It's 1:11 on the timer. Y'all got the other 444 angel numbers too. So many stinking angel numbers. Y'all are so close to your ancestors. They are here. They're not only here, but they're there with you. They're so close to you. They always have been, but especially throughout this year, as you go through these huge, major transformations, know that they're always there, and leading you to the answers within yourself. And we love you so very much. You are so loved, and you are never alone. Despite how hard it might get. Trust me. Trust yourself, actually, not me. You. Who am I? Okay, but anyway. Whew. Thank you so much for letting me read your cards. That was a really beautiful reading. And if you've subscribed, thank you for subscribing below. I can say that now because it's not just me and my normal account subscribed anymore. Big things. I got 9 whole subscribers, so feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have anything you'd like me to, any different styles you want me to incorporate, or topics, anything like that, I would love to hear from y'all. It'll help me stay more accountable, but again, that is solely on me. So if you don't want to interact, awesome, thank you for watching, or even if you didn't make it all the way through. Yeah, thank you so much. I hope to see you in my next video. Sending y'all lots of love and happiness into this new year. Alright, Pile 2, I'll see y'all next time. Bye! Hi, pile number 3. I'm just getting my area set up real quick because clearly I am great at editing videos, and that's something I want to do. Okay. Anyways, so pile 3, thank you for being here and letting me read your cards. If you chose the Modern Witch Tarot, this is your reading. So what we're looking into today is this grand old new year we just walked into, 2022. So we're going to, with the tarot and stuff, it's more open-ended. It's kind of like walking into the new year light and leaving it open-ended. See what the universe, what your guides, your ancestors, what they have to say, what they want to say, what would be the most constructive and supportive energy to come through. So that's going to be pretty open-ended to start. And after that, I've got like pre-shuffled oracle cards that we'll get into. So those will, you know, help fill some holes if there are any, bring any additional messages or guidance through. We've got like some self-care cards, an affirmation card, that kind of thing to close it off. And yeah, we'll just kind of go through this and have a little fun today. Just so you know, I did pre-shuffle these cards, but we gotta do it on the video as well. I'm sorry, these take me a little bit longer because the deck is huge and my hands are really small, so I gotta break them up. So yeah, there's that. But I did shuffle a decent amount, so we'll just do it a couple more times. And of course, this is a general reading, so if something doesn't resonate, no need to make it fit. Feel free to just take what resonates and let the rest go. So pile number 2, or oh my gosh, pile number 3. Whew. So maybe there are messages in pile 2 for you. It was a beautiful read, so if it did call to you, feel free to go check it out. Pile number 3, walking into 2022. Lots of 2s in this year, right? What else do we have? Oh, jeez. For pile number 2, 3. Oh my gosh, I keep doing that, man. Alright, we had a lot of flipper overs, so we'll just do. That all happened at once, so I just want to see, is there anything else? Okay, wow, okay, so you guys definitely got more cards than the other piles, but that's how it works sometimes. When things need to come out, they will. Oh, okay, and I'm glad, but okay. So, we got lots of cards here. Yeah, 3 extra to be exact. So on the bottom of the deck, we have the subconscious energy as 10 of Swords in reverse. So this is a year of ending self-defeating behavior. Maybe creating more boundaries within yourself and without yourself in the external world as well. And embracing and standing in that power, babies. So let me just go through the cards that we got here. Excuse me. We've got, oh my gosh, my cat. He just, okay, 1 second, sorry. My cat came in and now the door's open and life is a mess. Sorry. Yeah, I leave the door open for my cat when I'm home, and it's freaking cold in central New York, so, whew. Okay. Anyway, the doors are closed, so no more interruptions. Sorry about that. So we've got the Hermit, 3 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, 2 of Wands. Dang! Pile number 3, the Fool. We got lots of major arcana. Queen of Wands, the Tower, the Devil, and 9 of Cups. Dang, this is gonna be a good year. I'm excited. Whoa. All right. Ooh, so much growth. Oh, I love it. I'm so excited for y'all. All right, so, okay. There's, I love it. A lot of abundance and growth. And so you start the year in more of a hermit type energy, and like in solitude, in silence, being more introspective, and depending where you are in the world, it could also have to do with the pandemic, with it being winter and cold, or it's just what feels right to you, and no reason. They're all valid. They're all reasons. That's it. But this is only super temporary, because as the year continues to progress, like it's followed right by the Three of Cups. So that's, this sort of reunion and coming together. So it's, I think honestly, there's like two sides to this. I think not only, okay, so I think through this hermit energy where you're really connecting with yourself on a on a deeper level, and feeling into what has been coming up, whether it be, cycles that you feel like are repeating in your life, whether it be something new that came out of the blue, no matter what it is. I think y'all are really taking the time to check in with yourself and see whether or not it serves you, and whether or not it's something you want to expand with or leave with and into, or something you want to leave behind and let go. And I think through finding this sense of solace within yourself throughout this period, it allows you to find solace in other people. And to help you like step out of your head a bit so you can be more authentic in the way that you relate with others. And through this work, and it's not just like, both sides are work, depend, like if you're an introvert or extrovert, like sometimes it's easier to be alone with ourselves. For others, and at even time frames in life, it varies the way things feel and click within you. But like, I think mastering the support for yourself and the support that you give to others is what really gives you a sense of security. A security in the future, a security in the now, and a lot of abundance. It's kind of like, once you really master the dualism of being there for yourself and others, it creates new seeds to harvest. It opens other avenues that might have not felt comfortable or aligned with you in that moment, and aligned with you in the past, rather. Like, the big things are coming to fruition, and it's a new sense of expansion. And this choice, like a choice is made to begin again in a different way, like in a way. I think it's a whole mindset shift that's happening, where you're letting go of thought patterns that might have held you back in the past from really being yourself and stepping into your power. Like, as you continue to master this sense of self, it allows you to evolve into a completely new person, but someone that you recognize just the same. It's literally just evolution and personal expansion that's brought you to this point. And this is, I would say, like August, I really want to say, with the Fool, because it's like halfway through, we got the sun energy, so like Leo season, I would say. Leo season is going to be huge for y'all. Y'all can be Leos for sure. We've got a little bit of everything except for air. We don't have air energy. We've got Capricorn energy as well. Taurus, water energy. And I think, like, even before the midpoint of the year, there's like this opportunity for travel, for moving out of the country, or moving, far across the country, regardless of what country you're in. If you're in Europe, yeah, totally moving to another country. And the decision you make through that choice is what really propels you into this new sense of being and interacting with the world in so many different ways. Like, yes, the steps happened at the beginning of the year too, where there was a lot of steps taken to stand in your power, to grow, to evolve. But it's like phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. And it's what really culminates in ending like a self-sabotaging behavior or behaviors. We all got them. No judgment here. And taking this leap, like there's this sense of realigning your life to live fully in passion, with passion, because that brings you the greatest sense of not only security, but peace, of happiness. And I think that's something that your soul, that you have been craving for quite some time now. And yeah, it hasn't been easy. The work has been put in. And all of this growth and opportunity, expansion, is solely coming to fruition because of you. Because of the hard work, the dedication, the persistence that you, and the ups and downs, the trials and tribulations that you've already endured. I think I've helped you find that passion, help you find the path that you're meant to be on, and continue to show you your power. I think y'all are really a very modest and humble pile. And I think that exuding this sense of confidence to the world is something that might have been uncomfortable for you before. This is the Modern Witch Tarot, and it is, very feminine. But I also do want to point out that it is, I mean, then that's, kind of redundant. But there are a lot of females in the deck in general, so take it for what it's worth. But in your spread as well. So embracing your feminine energy could be super powerful, and at the same time bring some discomfort as well to some of y'all. Doesn't have to be everybody, but yeah, I think like there's so much to be said for not necessarily the emotions, but the feelings that lie beneath every single thing that you go through. And I think y'all have really been tapping into that power, which has allowed you to stand in your full power. But showing that to the world is something that really, really isn't easy. And it feels super uncomfortable. It's like, I'd rather jump. I don't want to, talk about myself and have to sell myself and market and this and that and the other. Like, that's not me. Just because the world operates that way and we're all like bred to be capitalists and like base our lives around a market force, if you could even call it that. It's a joke, but that's besides the point. Yeah, I think that through the discomfort of showing yourself, speaking your truth, and owning the power that you know you have, I think it brings a lot of discomfort for you. A lot. And that's why, like, the big, not why, but that has, ties into why it's a big end of the cycle for you. Like, Ten of Swords, we're done. But it's not like, not listening to ourselves, done, and ignoring and like tuning things out, just staring at a phone or computer all day. No, that's not it. Y'all have put in the work. Ooh, and just upon lifting this, the Lovers in reverse is down here too. So take that for what it's worth. If some of y'all might have been asking for a confirmation on that front. Yeah, like, stand in your light, shine your sunlight is a big message coming through here. And don't be afraid to shine, to take the leap, to trust in yourself, because you've gotten yourself this far, and that means not just something, that means a lot. But there's okay, hang on here. Yeah, so I think owning your power and allowing others to really see the true you is something that's not only like a tower moment for y'all, but also like it's followed right by the devil. So there's some limiting beliefs, there's some thought patterns and things that have been passed down to you from elders, teachers, family members, cousins, that I think hold you back in more ways than you realize, and in a lot of ways. And it's all, in the long run, it's self-inflicted as well. Pun. But at the same time, it's not dualism. It's everything at once. That's life. But there are definitely some limiting beliefs that will probably rear their head towards the end of the year, and maybe that does have to do with, especially the timing of me lifting that card with the Lovers too. Like, so a new relationship could be coming in and challenging the way you see yourselves and relationships in general, and or yourself and behaviors you've exuded in past relationships that you're like, oh, I don't want to do that again, like I'm gonna ruin it. No, you're aware this time, you've been through it, you've learned lessons, you've evolved and grown in so many ways. We see it here. Oh, hey, Risey, come here. Throughout the whole entire spread. Come here, Ryan. Sorry, it's my kitten. Come here. Come on, baby boy. Sit on my lap. Okay, sorry. But despite the discomfort, Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups, baby. So that's you really standing in your power and being like, I don't really need anybody. I fill my own cup. But that allows you to make the decision in clearer mindset where it's not like survival based or codependent, you know, a form of codependency. Oh, Ryan, stop. But where was I? Yeah, and I feel that the journey has been that the journey of this year of 2022 is very explorative. It's abundant. It is comforting, not all the time. There's a lot to let go and to different skins and layers to shed throughout the year. But it proves itself to be worth the risk continuously. You know, 3 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, the Fool, like all of these, it's giving you, the universe is providing you with the lessons and the experiences you need to go through so that you do stand in your power always, and so that nothing is going to make you waver in the future. At times where you know might have felt where you had to go like into hermit mode and like kind of cut yourself off from the world. I think that'll come from a different place by the end of the year. At the beginning of the year, it seems to me as if it's like, this is my safe space. I'd rather just be alone. I'm good on my own. I am safe. However it may resonate with you, and maybe that's not the case at all. But I think for a lot of you, that might be a safe zone where you know you can always rely on yourself and that everything will work out. But it's letting go of those reins and trusting in others as well, and finding that balance within yourself and outside of yourself. Because you don't have to always fill your cup up. I mean, you do, but like others. But what I'm trying to say is community is so powerful, and not everything can be done alone, and humans thrive in community. Yeah, so those are tarot messages. We will jump to the oracles now. Let me just see though. I'm feeling stuck right here. See if I missed anything that feels like it wants to come through. Sorry for all the distractions in this pile, y'all. Thanks for bearing with me. Yeah, I think throughout 2022, y'all are letting a lot of walls fall down. I think that sense of independence or hyper-independence can be a form of trauma response for a lot of us. And so not being able to ask for help or is a vice. So I think especially by mid-year and continuing throughout the end of 2022, you're really going to be letting like the walls of your fortress that you've built around your heart and your soul down. I think y'all are sick of keeping all of this creativity and vitality within yourself. And you want to share it with the world, but I think the judgment that you inflict upon yourself, and in turn expand that thought process to also include those around you. Like, they'll think this and that and the other. We never know that. We never will unless you ask them. And what do we care, you know? So, yeah, I see a whole mind state shift throughout the year in such a beautiful way. Such a beautiful way. So let's get to the oracle cards. Apparently my phone battery's low. We have beauty. Yeah, y'all are. Flowers growing amongst the decaying. There's always growth. Always, always, always. Even when we don't see it, feel it, acknowledge it. It's there. So give yourself some credit, pile 3. Y'all have done a lot. Put your hands on your heart and say thank you. I love you. 3 times. Now or later, but thank you. I love. Divinity. Y'all are divine creatures on this here planet Earth. Your intuition, I think, is something you've always listened to, but when you, especially it lines up with the Fool here, when you're in this state, and the Two of Wands, when you're in this state of needing to make a choice and potentially leap into this whole new beginning, whole new arena of life, whether it be mentally, emotionally, physically, remember your own divinity. We are all stardust. All of us, every single one of us, we are all worthy and deserving of every single thing that we desire. And we have the power to get it all within us. So yeah, remember your intuition. That third eye can always come home through meditation. Our breath work, sigh down, sigh down. We'll take one more side together. Okay. Man, if y'all are still watching, I love y'all. You don't tolerate my weirdness. Okay, reward. Yes, all of your hard work is not for naught. There is so much abundance in growth, regrowth, rebirth, evolution. I've been saying those words a lot. But yeah, there's a reward at the end. The energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. So, yeah, paying attention to lunar cycles, I think, can be pretty powerful. So maybe let's see, it'd probably be like 3rd quarter moon phase after the full moon. You are good enough. Full moon in Virgo. You can have Virgo placements. But remember, yeah, that beauty is there. And it's not just external, it's also internal. The depths of your internal beauty are so deep. So deep. I don't even think most of y'all see it or acknowledge it because you're so humble. But inherently, as existing on this planet in your beautiful stardust form, you are good enough and you are worthy. And sometimes, like, if I forget, which is a lot, on the inhale, I am good enough. I am worthy. I am good enough. I am worthy. And just saying that, slowing the breath down, it feels good. It's really good for your nervous system too. It's not just complete weirdness, but maybe it is to you. Who knows? That's your choice. And y'all got a extra moonology and other cards too, actually. But so we got full moon in Pisces. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. I think pile number 3, the Hermit energy is so strong. No wonder why it came out first. Y'all are so intuitive. So intuitive. During the full moon in Pisces, it would be a really, really powerful time for group 3 to make a list of things you want to let go and burn it in a fire. Or when I did it over the summer and I didn't have a fireplace, I would do the same thing and then just rip it to shreds. Just get rid of it and get out some aggression or whatever while you're doing it. It's great. But yeah, just with the way everything lines up, I think that'd be super powerful. And maybe like full moon in Virgo, write things you love about yourself down and keep that so you can reflect upon it in the future if that calls to you. I ain't telling you what to do. Okay, so we have the crumbling. What are you clinging on to? Oh, that just has to go right over here. I don't even... With the Devil, what are you clinging on to that you were conscious about, that you were not conscious about? Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. Yes. And that's why things feel so heavy. Y'all are the visionaries. And that's a heavy burden to carry when you know how cursed our planet is, but you also care enough to want to do something about it, and it's like, but it hurts my soul to care and not care. So it's like, man, there's no winning. But when you balance your spirituality and practicality, maybe you can. Let me know. So yeah, keep doing what you're doing is what I need to say. Y'all are making the world a better place for everybody just by existing. Keepers of the earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. Visionaries, that's what you are. And a little bit of switching gears. Oh, I have the illest goosebumps. Sorry, I was just making sure there wasn't anything that like really wanted to come through there. Just wanted to make sure. There's a lot of blue imagery going on, like blue and blue-green. So getting out into nature can help balance the spirituality and practicality, perhaps. Nature helps me with everything, but not just me. Okay, so shift gears. Love messages. These I'm just going to read out loud because it's not a love reading per se. Take it how it applies or doesn't apply. So sometimes I lie awake thinking about you. And if there's nobody, on your mind, then ignore this part. It's cool. We'll be quick. I don't react when people mention you. I hope that you can forgive me one day. I feel you, even though we're apart. So, some of you, I'm sure, needed to hear those messages take them as they resonate. And we've also got some self-care cards before we finish out with one affirmation. And you all got an extra self-care card too. So we have number 29, journal. Maybe set aside some time every other day, once a week, just to write your thoughts or write scribbles on the page, anywhere you need to start. 48, spend time with animals. Animals are the best. Yeah, and even, again, going back to the nature, especially because we've got so many animals on here, like hiking, going in the woods, there's just like animals everywhere, honestly. And they could help the healing. They can help you heal in different ways that, heal in different ways. That's it. And 51, yes, we were talking about this. Sync with the moon. And 51, that reduces to 6, Lover's card. Yeah, this is a complex pile, because I think there's just a lot of variables, and I think because you're such a multifaceted, layered human, not to say, everybody is, but in a super hyper, in like a very spiritual way. So sorry if I trivialized any of this, because now that I'm reflecting back with the oracle cards in hindsight, like there's just a lot of different ways that this can be taken. Unlike the other two piles, there's a lot of layers. Anyway, so sync with the moon. If anything I said earlier resonated about the things to let go of and reasons why you love yourself, and then ending it with the thank you, I love you, just an idea. If nothing else, and it doesn't call to you, maybe you'll want to incorporate it in different ways. Or not, that's cool. So our affirmation that we'll end it on is, my feelings are valid. This hits this file so hard. Acknowledge your emotions as they come to pass. Spend time with them and investigate where these feelings were coming from. Understand that you are not your emotions. They do not define who you are, and you have the power to both respect and move beyond them. Your feelings are valid. Everything you feel is valid, and you are entitled to feel them. Wow, that was a big read. Thank you for watching this all the way through if you did. I apologize for some of the interruptions. And thank you to my subscribers. I love y'all endlessly. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe below if there's anything any way you want to interact, ideas about future readings or anything else. Feel free to shoot me a message or comment. I would love to hear from y'all. I aim to do weekly pick-a-cards and then kind of see what else calls to me throughout the process. So I would love if y'all could help keep me accountable, but I do not expect you to do so. That is my responsibility, but also just saying it is helping me to really pursue this YouTube channel. And all of your love and support helps. I hope that there was something helpful in this message, and I wish you the most wonderful and abundant year of 2022. Bye.